much. My name is Toluwani Akahome, and I am Director of Rogue College Ireland. It's a fantastic opportunity to be here this afternoon, and it's a great pleasure to see your lovely faces. For those faces I can see and the pictures that I can see, thank you so much. And we've done a bit of an introduction, but we're still going to do it for those who are just coming in. It's a great pleasure. As I said, I'm here based in Ireland, sunny southeast Kilkenny, and I am in the field of human resource development. But we thought that, Rogue College came as an opportunity to add value, capacity building to people of African descent. And we have been working since 2017, really supporting growth and development among people of African descent, particularly on the continent. But then we met UTIVA and we found this fantastic people, and we said we really wanted to support and join hands in partnership with what they are doing among people of African descent. And so we became the Europe partner of UTIVA. And I'm going to let my boss, my Oga at the top, Enoch, talk later about UTIVA. But for now, it's about you and you that are coming into the room. Those are already in the room and those are coming into the room. So Rogue College wanted to support, the capacity building efforts that a lot of people are about when we talk about people of African descent. And we realized that a lot of the things that are going on right now, there's a global shift really in terms of people moving into the tech spaces. And we felt, a lot of people from African descent in the diaspora, we talk a lot about, the fact that there's marginalization, there's discrimination, there's this and that. And we felt, look, when you are skilled in an area that nobody can gainsay, when you're skilled in an area that is trendy, that is, that the world sees the value and is becoming such a global thing, there's a market out there, then there's value. Nobody can, they see what you bring before they see your color or whatever area of discrimination they want, to highlight. So we thought we wanted to bring that to our people here in the diaspora. I've lived here in Ireland for the last 20 years. And as with everyone in the room who's lived abroad, you realize that there's many things that we grapple with. But we don't want to play the victim mentality. We want to step up and do what we need to do to ensure that we are equipped, we are skilled, we are ready for what the world wants. And this is what this session and the other sessions are going to have are. So it is great to see you all in the room. Thank you very much to our guests, Dr. Festus Adedoyin, to Evangelist, and to Itabo, and also to Tofumi. Thank you so much for coming on board. Out of your precious time, you've taken that time off at no charge to step up with us and do this business of building people of African descent with us. So I personally, as a part of Rogue College, I am so grateful. Thank you so much. And I know that everyone in the room, no matter the number we have today, they're going to get real value from what you delivered this afternoon. So thank you. Welcome us all to this masterclass, and also to welcome particularly our guests this afternoon. So just a little bit about our guests before we call them into the panel. Just a little bit about our guests. So I just want to talk very briefly about Evangelist Odin, who for almost a decade has been a data scientist. He's in the an industry lead at Hype Ireland in Sweden and a facilitator at UTIVA. He's worked as head of data science at Loans to Go and worked as a senior applied data scientist at Indicina. I hope I called that right. And he's also worked as a data scientist at Kaggle. Now, Dr. Festus Adedoyin is a fellow of the Higher Education Academy, a chartered management and business educator, and a lecturer at the Department of Computing and Informatics at Bournemouth University in the UK. So his current research interest is in the application of machine and deep learning and econometrics tools to research stories in energy and tourism economics, as well as finance and digital health. Dr. Festus, you have to break that down for illiterates like us. So Festus has contributed to several thematic areas in the UN Sustainable Development Goals and is open to international research collaborations. Ogamisa, I bow. Move on, sir. So I'm going to talk about Tofumi now. Tofumi is just a lovely woman that I really admire. So Tofumi is a graduate of Covenant University, where she studied computer science and got involved in tech. However, it wasn't until she took up more than her classroom courses that she really developed interest in building technology products. Through personal development and technical courses, she has gained enough experience working with international companies like Shell Nigeria and Goldman Sachs International. Today, she's the product manager at an event startup called Mogbomoya, where she helps solve problems in the event space. In the event space that she's passionate about. And I know that we have one more speaker. I haven't had the opportunity to get his profile, but when I do get it, I'll read it out. So we're going to now go into our panel session where our discussants will, share with us their thoughts. And I want us to please get our questions ready, because we want to dive deep into it, do a deep dive right now into why we're here. So we want to talk about the pathway to employment. So I believe learning for a lot of us, particularly from African descent, is not just for learning. Learning is good, but there's an end goal. And for us, it is really about employment, gainful employment, meaningful employment. And so we want to explore that. So I'm going to call on our panelists to just get ready as I just share those questions that we kind of put together with you. But for our people, so pardon me if I look away from you because I'm looking at another screen. So pardon me for that. So for our participants this afternoon, I know there are burning questions regarding tech, reason why we're here. So please put that in the chat. But I'm going to call Dr. Festus and Ken and, sorry, not Ken. I'm going to call Dr. Festus and Evangelist and Tofumi to, talk about themselves. I'm going to start from Dr. Festus. Just give us very briefly, why are we talking about tech now? Why is there so much going on in this space about tech? We're going to start from Dr. Festus.
Thank you very much, Toluwani, for the opportunity to share. I think it's a rapid development. The changes in our society, the way work is done, the way we live our lives, everything is changing. The world itself is evolving, and so there's a need for every one of us to catch up with the train. And you would remember when Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint presentation and things like that came up in the 2000s. Few people were able to catch up, shifting away from typewriter to the standard computing, and the same thing is happening again now. There's much opportunities in deep learning, in machine learning, in tech, as it were. So I think it's time for us to get the skills. And I'm very glad that we have this platform to talk about these things. Because personally, you have lots of friends who come all the way from Africa to the UK, and they do very odd jobs. Of course, the money is there. Money is money. It doesn't smell the odd job, but you want a better life for yourself. You want to really build capacity. And as you said earlier, Toluwani, you don't want to be looked down upon. You want to feel into the space as a Black man or a Black woman you are. So I think it's important for us to have this conversation now. And I want to say thank you for, setting this up.
Thank you, Festus. Thank you so much. Ken, my apologies. And you have to do us the honor, I know you do it better than I would, to tell us about yourself as the last speaker. So my apologies. I didn't miss you out there. But I'm Yoruba, and they say, so don't worry. You have skipped any bad luck for the rest of the year and beyond. So can you be our last person to contribute to this? So I'm going to call on now Tofumi. Tofumi, would you just give your take? And if you could put her camera on, that would be great. Is she still in the room? I don't see her here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, perfect.
I'm currently having some issues with my network. That's why I didn't turn on
your camera. Yes.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Why tech? Firstly, everything is going to be tech enabled in the next 5 years is a long time, right? 5-10 years, everything is going to run on tech. And that's going to mean that there would be some jobs that won't be existing anymore. And honestly, you won't want to be in those jobs that won't be existing. at that particular time. So better to start finding how you can leverage the opportunities currently in this particular space. Everything will be tech enabled, everything will be tech driven, everything would be everything would have its underlying foundation with technology. And we won't want to be consumers, we want to be creators or contributors. So if you have a creator mindset, if you have a contributor mindset, and not just a consumer mindset, it's better to get in while I wouldn't say a rave. I don't want to call it a rave, but it's better to get in now that we know that in the next 10 years, by 2030, a lot of jobs are going to be, there won't be jobs anymore. So yeah.
They're going to be tech enabled. Yes. Thank you so much. Evangelist, what's your take on that? Why is there such hype about it, and why should we get involved?
Okay, so if we go back a little bit to previous times, products would normally be what? A pen, a car, a book. You have to buy those. Those will be what companies will be setting up shop to try to sell. Today, human beings are the products. The only way to reach human beings in mass is through a medium that has no limit, the internet, the what we'll call the cyberspace. And so being able to design products or stuff that people anywhere can use is kind of mind-blowing if you put it like that. It's kind of mind-blowing if you look at it like that. So finding yourself in sort of a place where you're able to think, build, and ship to production, and 10 million, 1 billion, 100 billion people can use your product and give you feedback, or be able to tell you how to iterate, how to make it better, how to grow it, how to improve it, is where you want to be at in this kind of time. And if we look at where we're going to in the nearest couple of years, where I'd like to put the metaverse, right? The metaverse is now an interesting rave that is going to be where everybody will be in, right? If everybody's going to be in the metaverse, where do you want to be? You want to either be a contributor, of course, a contributor is a builder, someone who is building, who is ideating, who is teaching, any of these concepts to allow people start growing or start building in that space. So I was talking with a friend the other day, and he was like, he's already started working on maps for the metaverse. And I'm like, I was mind blown already. Like, you're already thinking, drawing maps out for people who will be using the metaverse, right? You want to be in that kind. I mean, there's obsolete. You become very easily obsolete if you're not in tech. Very easily obsolete if you're not in tech. So yeah, you want to be in tech. You really just want to be in tech, I'd say.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to call on Ken now. Now, I just got your profile, Ken. You'll be happy to know, even though I don't think I'll do it as much justice as you would, but permit me. So Ken holds a PhD in geophysics from Imperial College. See, another Oga. Imperial College, London. Some people only go in their dreams. He is an AI/ML ops engineer. It's only AI I know the meaning there. ML, you have to interpret that one for us. Okay, and he has various certifications varying from Azure to AWS and Google Cloud. Ken, please give us your take. Why should people like us, who have no head for tech, why should we step into this space? Thank you so much.
No, it's a pleasure. Hello, everyone. For me, the way I tend to look at it and I discuss it with people is we live in a world where there's something called the data explosion. You know, the past decade, the amount of data we've generated is mind-blowing. You can't even begin to comprehend it. From being on Zoom, this call we have it. I just can't imagine the sort of data we're generating, you know, to you having your mobile phone on you every day to all your connected devices in your house, your very existence in generating data. And with so many computing or IT devices that almost everyone is using in today's world, you can even imagine to think about those data, their form, and what you can do, the sort of value you can get from all of these IT devices and the data that comes from them. So if you live in a world where it's so IT driven and it's so data, what's it called, surrounded, for lack of a better word, you just want to know about what is going on. What are about, how did this whole thing come together? What are people saying about all of this? So, and it's a rewarding place to be, minus the fact that you are aware of what is happening around you and what people are doing. If you are in that space, you get to enjoy what you do, because it's quite rewarding. I just can't find the right sort of word to do justice to the feeling of being in IT. But yeah, it's a place to be, and you really don't want to feel left out. It's like living in 2021, but kind of existing in 1961. If you're not in IT, you miss out.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you. I can see Oga Enoch nodding. Now be say some of us will have to enroll by force, by two Latin. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. I want to say to people that are on this call, please drop your comments in the chat box. I'll read them out. Not comments, your questions, because that's why you're here. I want us to get as much information as we can from these gurus so that we can make the right decisions going forward, particularly in this space, because almost all of us here maybe don't know enough, and that's why we're here. Or maybe we know enough, but we want to know more. So please do drop your questions in the chat box as we go along. So I just want to I want to ask you, Evangelist, what are the range of career opportunities that are available in this space? Because it's a broad space. What are the range, particularly for the people of African descent that are on this call? Where can we quickly and very effectively tap into, please?
Okay, so I'll break it down into. I'll start from the top two. The two core areas would be the technical areas and the non-technical areas of tech. Okay. Right. So a popular misconception is, as long as you're going into tech, you have to be very technical. It's not. By technical, I mean you have to code, you have to do all of that stuff. It's not necessary that you be a coder or a programmer. But yes, so the breakdown will be at the top, the technical and non-technical. And I'll take the non-technical and then try to see what I can summarize with the technical part. The non-technical side of things really comes from ideating and managing. So products have to be built. Can you think out the products? Can you design those products? So you have the UI UX guys, you have the project managers or product managers, you have you have people who the business analysts, yes. And from there, of course, that's the ideating of the products, that's the management of the products, and of course, the content management of the products. These are all non-technical tech fields that you can put yourself in. Being able to design, or rather think of the kind of content that should go around the tech product, how to push that out to users, and how users basically would accept that. People, there's a lot of careers around that area, right? Then you have the tech area, the core technical areas where you're now you're now building the products. These are the builders. These are the people that support the products. These are the people that that put the building blocks together, get everything sorted so that everybody that's using the applications or the products has a seamless use, as long as they're touching the applications. And so this comes down to software developers, software programmers. You have data scientists, ML engineers, machine. Okay, ML, by the way, is machine learning engineering, and AI engineering. You have data engineers. You have what else? Pretty much every other thing that has to do with engineering and analysis, because now you're using code to interact with the products, you're using code to interact with the people, you're using code to interact with the users, and you're trying to understand how to make things better, right? Sort of like you have in your civil engineering and building structures. You have the people who would draw out the plans, and then you have the people who would actually go and build out the bridges and the houses. That's pretty much how tech is. You have the people who would draw out what needs to be built. Those are the non-technical careers in tech. And then you have the people who would actually go and build out the products. Those are the technical areas. This is really big buckets I'm calling. And of course, there are loads of careers underneath each of these buckets. If we have time, we can try to explore them.
Fantastic. There'll definitely be another session where we dig deeper into all of these things based on people's interests. So thank you so much for that in-depth explanation. Now I have Dion Ogudipe, who has his hand raised up for a quick question. Dion, over to you. Please unmute. Dion, you are muted still.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Thank you. Please go ahead.
He is muted again.
Okay.
Been on the road trying to. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been on the road trying to not miss this session. I'm glad I'm a bit seated now, and I enjoyed the last speaker, particularly because he has tried to communicate what I have always wanted to say, which is to say that you can be in tech without actually being technical, which is critical to most people, because they think, oh, if you have to go to get an MSc in computer engineering or computer science, or so. There are so many people. Most people that do very well in tech are not actually technical, because in the end, what the employer is looking for is somebody who can do just one thing. You don't want somebody who is tech, who has all the theory, but cannot apply it. So what is important is, what exactly can you do to deliver a product or a service to the organization? So yeah, I was happy that he said it, and I wanted to also say that that critical in terms of, it's not all the AIs, the ML. Yes, you can have all those. But in the end, when you sit down at the interview and you are asked a question, okay, can you please tell me how you are going to do this? You should be able, you have to be able to explain how you will do them, and this you get by limiting what you gather around. Just concentrate on one thing that you know that is my area. Any time of the day, call me. I'm going to be delivering. So
thank you so much for that. Thank you. Much appreciation for that comment. Thank you. So I just want to ask Ken, or rather, sorry, Dr. Festus. Dr. Festus, what are the career opportunities for those who are interested in IT, particularly for people of African descent? Are there areas that you feel that as a people that we need to be concentrating in this space? Are there particular areas that would allow us to quickly move into spaces where we can accelerate our success?
Yes, I think there are a number of spaces, opportunities in the UK, for example, where we can explore. One is, data scientists, data analyst roles, within many, because that's applicable to many industries in the UK. And I'll just give a bit of examples from my own experience. So I've trained about 4 to 5 Nigerians who came for their masters in the UK, studying different things. So studying international economics, studying human resource management, and so on and so forth. And what they've done during their studies is to, I always tell them, just keep applying. And what you realize is, they apply, they get an invite for an interview. And what the most important question that they always ask is, have you done anything at all with data? And that's a very important question. Have you done anything at all? And I always tell them, you've done research, you've done dissertation in your master's, for example. You've played around with data, you've done something. So always pitch that during your interview. And what I found from my, testimony is, we have people easily getting two are in NHS right now, in the NHS, working for the NHS as data analysts. They're not medical doctors, but they are data analysts. I've got somebody with KPMG and so on and so forth. The point I'm trying to make is data analyst roles specifically is quite popular, and I quite agree that you don't necessarily need to code and have all of those technical skills. However, I think you still need to know about it. Maybe not as deep as possible, but you still need to have an idea of how it works, and so on and so forth. So that's one urge I think is currently available, and there's still so many. We receive so many invites, so many calls for applications for BME, Black and minority ethnic groups in the UK, asking them to apply for data analyst roles. But the problem is our people either don't know how to package themselves or, maybe get comfortable with, the care jobs and, part-time extra jobs they do. So, I mean, that's one thing, we might want to explore in this webinar. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Can I ask Dr. Ken, and Dr. Ken, of course, you are Dr. Ken. Can you just throw a little bit more light on that, because I just want you to pick up from the thoughts that Dr. Festus left off. Just pick up on those thoughts, please.
Yeah, I'll do that. So, well, I can't classify the categories of folks that of African descent in the UK as either folks that are formally educated, at least to a degree,
Yes.
those that haven't got any formal education. I think for anyone that has got some form of formal education to a degree level, my first advice would be get into data, because you don't necessarily have to be a data scientist when you're getting into data. There's something we call BI developers, business intelligence developers.
Okay.
Your ability to tell story with data, and there are loads of jobs in the UK, in that particular field. Tools like Power BI, Tableau. Go to the job market, loads and loads of those. Is your ability? It's all about you telling stories, but now telling stories with data. That's as simple as that. And if you've got an education up to a degree level, I would want to understand that you've done some form of research as part of your degree.
That's
You've
true.
told some story when you were doing your dissertation. Then you can tell the story now. All you have to do is some CEO in the NHS or some stakeholder in any government parastatal or any company at all wants some form of information that is data driven.
Yes.
You want to say this is the situation with our sales, this situation with all the branches of the opening. These are evidence, not what Mr. Tony tells me this, but this is the data we've collected, this is the analysis we've done, this is the story.
And this is the analysis, yes. That's the findings.
Is this. You don't necessarily have to be an expert coder to get into that particular area of tech. No, with BI tools, that's why they've come to solve that problem. Make it as minimal as possible for you to write any code before you can then share that intelligence with people that need that. And also there's I'm passionate about the cloud, so there's cloud development, and there's AWS. At AstraZeneca, I've been trying to expand my team for a while now. The sad thing is, I've never seen any black person, come up for interview.
Are you serious?
99% of them have been Indians. That's just the truth. No single black person. Week in, week out, I'm just speaking with Indians and a few, non-Indians. It's not because these people are the smartest of people, no, but these people are aligned, with this field. They go to an interview, it didn't go well for them. They learn, from that.
Go back.
And, exactly fill up whatever gap they get as feedback from that interview, and they apply again. But there's one thing they're doing that I noticed: they're putting themselves out there.
Wow.
But we
So
are not doing that.
You're saying that you're saying that there are loads of opportunities out there for people of African descent when they know the right thing to do and they're willing to put themselves out there.
you don't have to get it at the first try, but
Wow.
it is to get some form of feedback and learn from it. Identify those gaps. You think, okay, yeah, this first one did not go well about this, and I know what is missing. I need to go back and then try and fill in those gaps and try again. It's,
Wow.
don't just get discouraged that I have to know it all before I put myself out there. No, just
Yep.
get on board with it, and yeah, that's how you get started in the
Exactly.
first place.
Thank you so much.
Exactly. If I
Yes.
may just add there, I mean,
Yes, please.
I believe on average, and I've even tried to run analysis on this. On
Mm.
average, every day I get at least 5 calls from recruiters in the UK, in the EU, in Canada, requesting. Of course, they would see that I'm not interested in probably leaving my current role, but the question usually is, do you have data scientists? Do you
Wow.
have analysts? Do you
Wow.
have data engineers? Do you have cloud engineers who you know of that might be interested in taking on this role, that role, this role? We're willing to pay as high as £95,000, £100,000 yearly. Do you have anybody that can take them? And in most of the cases, I'm always like, no, I don't. And the few people I've tried to place in several places, it's been interesting, it's been good, and one of the reasons why I keep getting the feedback to bring in more people. But yeah, it just is what it is at this point.
Wow. I'm gonna say my heart is breaking my heart, but it's exciting me at the same time. That kind of way.
So take that average of 5 a day, multiply that by 7 days a week, and non-stop weekends, and then of course a month, and you can tell how many.
But let me jump to Tofumi. Tofumi, what?
Sorry,
Yes.
I don't. Can I jump in a bit?
Yes, please, Dion. Please go ahead.
Worried by that statistics, really, because
yes.
Yeah, I'm worried because what? So, but I need to ask what is it that you think makes it unattractive, or
and that's my question.
Or that we don't like to do that. Is it because we don't have the certifications, or we're just not confident?
Can I come in?
So
yes, please. Yeah. Yes, please.
Go ahead.
One of the reasons is my people perish for lack of knowledge. People don't know. Sometimes I get in a discussion and folks are like, really, there's something like this? Really, I don't need to do this. Really, it's like I'm informing people all over for the first time in 2021. So that information is like it's not there. I don't know the sort of community that we have. We probably need to encourage this sort of community.
Keep
more,
talking, yeah.
I see invites for church programs, and I'm sorry to say the sort of programs that they're organizing is destroying their times because they have this huge number of people, but we're not really doing some kind of the right sort of program from there. That's one big way to reach out to the African community because we're very religious people. We go to church, but we're not leveraging that. The sort of programs we're organizing is not there in the first place. And the second one is that what's it called? The imposter syndrome that we face a lot as Africans. We have that imposter. It weighs down, even for those that are on the job. The ones that are not there, they're scared. They're like, "No, it's not for me. It's white people all use guru kind of job." But that's not the thing. They think they need to know it all before they can come in. Forgetting that everybody is learning on the job. Yeah, this is the UK where people blow their CV out of proportion. That's what the honest truth. Somebody has probably done this month in Excel, but when you see the way they write CV, when I compare certain CVs, you'll be amazed. All this person has done, if you dig down, you maybe just done some little analysis in Excel, but they are very good in storytelling. They carve this nice story around their CV. And for the mere fact that they've done that, you just want to hear from this person. Who is this person? I want to hear from this person and see what they can bring on board. So that's the other thing. We just feel we need to know it before we get on board. We don't necessarily have to.
Ken is not wrong at all in the imposter syndrome part. I mean, imposter syndrome is a big issue with Africans. I believe.
Would that be Africans in diaspora or Africans in general?
Africans I would feel in general. Africans have the imposter syndrome where we just feel. I mean, you can even see it sometimes when you're in Nigeria. We would rather treat the American man or the white man who don't have a university degree higher over you that has a PhD.
True.
That follows through with how we even go to work, how we do these things in work. So everybody always feels
oh, to do AI, you must be a good, intelligent, you play what we probably know or have. That's one. However, albeit the role of a data scientist, an AI engineer, and a machine learning engineer can be really, 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 how would I put it? Very critical. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Critical, right? In terms of the analysis you can bring today could determine if a company makes $1 million of pounds or loses $1 million of pounds. Right. So in some sense, when it comes to the data world, companies are trying to be careful with hiring people who just have garnished CVs as against people who have, or rather, hire people who actually know their stuff as against hiring people who just have garnished CVs. So this is where in areas or fields like data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, you need to really know your stuff and have built out maybe a couple of stuff so that you can show that as evidence of success. In other areas around tech, there is not that core requirement, right? This is just a core requirement for heavily mathematical fields. And I guess Dr. Ken and can testify to this, right? This is just a core for heavily technical fields like data science. This is a requirement for heavily technical fields like data science and AI and machine learning. However, there's cloud computing. There is software engineering. Those are the fields that don't require you to have core and heavy math backgrounds and all of that to be able to scale through. Of course, the areas we find it is getting easier because there's a lot of plug and play tools that you can just pick and use. The analysis is generated for you, and you just need to be able to interpret that, which is where we're going to with data science and AI machine learning. But as we go to that peak place, then you would see companies now accepting a lot more people, telling them, okay, you can come through, the doors are just wide open. But as it stands right now, the roles are still available, right? And some of those roles, a year after, they're still available. People haven't filled them. They haven't taken them. But people have not, because people have still not learned. A lot of things can happen in a year. You can learn a lot of things in a year and be able to take on some of those kind of roles. But people don't just know or don't think they can do.
Thank you so much. I'm going to go on to Enoch Afolabi, who's one of the leads in UTIVA. Enoch, we've talked a lot about what's possible. From your experience, how long can it take? Dion, can you mute yourself, please? I'm trying to mute you here, Dion. So how long would typically take for one to become a data scientist or for one to start a career in data science?
All right. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Great. Interestingly, Evangelist who is speaking is a facilitator with us here at UTIVA, amazing guy. And he could tell, and he also facilitates, especially in our data science program for Africans in diaspora. One of the things that he made mention is what's critical to getting yourself positioned. To make mention for us, we understand that the value that the employer looks for is your ability to do the work and to do it the right way, right? And so right from the door, once you enter into the UTIVA program, you're getting your hands dirty. And it's because of the ability to deliver knowledge and also get hands dirty at the same time, we're able to shorten the time frame for getting folks set up with the relevant skills to begin the career. And interesting is one of the reasons why we have Festus on the call right now. Festus, who also had already gone through our program across various layers, could also attest to what the possibility is. One, show up with your enthusiasm and readiness to work. And if you are able to flow with the program, ensure that you're getting your hands dirty, working on the project as you go. The TIVA program for the data science program is designed to get you started in under 5 months, right? In under 5 months, it means that you will have projects under your portfolio with having brushed through skill sets acquired while, say, running analysis on different business cases, and actually getting your hands dirty with the tools, with the environment, and also understanding how to approach problem solving. Working that through an entire 5 months. By the time you're done, you're having your portfolio really filled with projects that you can showcase as work experience, right? And which is where the conversation really sits. I would actually like to even shift it to Festus to maybe mention a few from his own experience as well, going through the program, exactly what learning, acquiring the skill actually felt like, and what you had to put in to get it.
Thank you very much, Enoch. It's a very good point you've made there. So I'm in academia here in the UK, and I teach students that are from white British students, Indian, Nigerians, Africans, all kinds of background. The problem with getting a job in the UK is not unique to Africans. So everybody has to apply. And you see white British students who tell me, there's no job, I can't get a job. I've applied to 10, 15 jobs, I can't get a job. So the problem is there. The difference is not just because you're white or black, it's because of the skill. So what I did was to explore UTIVA. I took their data accelerator program, and then I also moved on to the big data analytics program. And the purpose of that was to explore, and also the cloud computing program. And what I wanted to do was, for me personally, what I am doing at the moment to solve this problem, to help Africans in diaspora, to switch tech, is to be an evangelist, to tell people about this thing, and to say, well, you've done this, you have a degree, you have this, but why don't you go ahead and get your hands dirty, like Enoch has said? Take a course from UTIVA. I mean, do some practice, because when you go to uni or whatever, you just do the theory and you really don't use real life data. And I remember working on a project at UTIVA where we had data hackathons and group competition and stuff like that. You have real life data sets you can work with that informs life decisions, like real business decisions. And then you take that to an interview, you are confident that what you're saying is what happens in the office, not what you learned in the classroom. So, I mean, that's important to note that, yes, getting a job, moving into employment, into tech is one thing. You get a training in class or wherever you come from, but also get a practical organization that can show you real life cases, what is happening with the real life data, not just some hypothetical, theoretical sort of, lesson. So that's what it was in for me. Going into UTIVA. And I must say thank you that we have, UTIVA, and of course we have this platform to talk about these things. Otherwise, you have the same cycle of Africans coming in and, just ending up with care jobs and, which is fine, but, it's not the best of their potentials they can utilize.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. I want to ask Tofumi, when you decided to move into this space, what was your biggest challenge? What was the biggest hurdle you had to cross?
Moving into the space. So I was a computer science student, but there was a gap between the theory and the practical that we were learning in school. There's a lot of theory being taught in school and not enough practical. So one of the biggest challenges was actually getting my hands down to doing a lot of projects. Moving into the tech space. So I tried my hands out with different things, web development, app development. I tried out machine learning. My final year project was a machine learning project for student performance. And then finally deciding that, okay, I really like project management. And once I did project management for about 2 years, I also moved into product management, right? So one of the biggest challenges was actually that move between theory and practical, and finding core courses to actually be able to show that I understand or I get the skills that I'm being taught. I think aside from this, the other challenge really was product management is a space that you can't learn without a job, and you can't get a job without the experience. So I had to take on a lot of side projects. So it was that gap between, okay, I've taken courses, I've done this, but how do I actually get a job and prove myself or even validate my learnings as much as I can? And that was me taking on a lot of side projects in product management, developing products on my own, being the product manager, the web developer on different projects that I was working on, just to show that skill that, okay, I can be a good product manager to hiring managers or recruiting managers or teams that needed product management at that particular point. So yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I just want to take the question back to Enoch again. When is the next cohort of learners going to come on board so that people would know and they can contact me then afterwards? Enoch, over to you, please.
Okay, great. So the way I like to say it is, I've had the opportunity to speak to almost 30,000 African talents so far. And the way I like to say it is this: for every moment that we have, when we spend the cycle of a month, lots and lots of opportunities are being created in the entire ecosystem. And it even goes beyond, say, the technical. By technical, I mean the hard skill technical side, but also even into other industries. How you see digital transformation going on across all industries, even in banking, for instance. Even for FMCGs, you're seeing so much digital transformation going on in all those industries, and opportunities are being created every single month. Skill set to tap these opportunities, they might be slipping you by. So the best thing is for you to get started as early as possible. And in Utiva, what we have done is we designed our cohorts to start first week of every month. So by December 4th, we have another cohort that will be starting. I want to say something. One thing that is really interesting about technology is that
I don't have time today.
Sorry about this. I'm just going to mute this person. Stay with me for a moment while we find this person to mute them.
Yeah. Okay, so what I was going to say is the interesting thing about technology is you don't have to cast away your entire background experience or wherever you might have been coming from, leveraging that as a very solid ground based industry-based knowledge that you can build your technical skills upon, and really just begin to drive your expertise from there. So our classes starts, like I said, December 4th of December. The next class starts 4th of December. But you can also look forward to joining the next classes that start, say, every first week of every month, to take advantage of any of the programs that we have internally. I also want to take the opportunity to invite my colleague, Eitayo. Eitayo is the CEO for Utiva and currently holds a UK tech talent visa, and is also recognized by the US and the Japan government as a tech talent. He is the one who visioneered Utiva and has brought so much opportunities for us. Eitayo, would you like to say a few things to the audience here?
Yeah, absolutely. I just hope that my background is not too noisy.
You're good, Eitayo.
Absolutely good. I mean, so Ken and Pestos, thank you for this opportunity. It's quite amazing what the world is doing with data science, right? It's quite amazing what we are achieving with data science today. I'm in a coffee shop. It's quite very noisy here, but I've installed the software on my system that negates the entire noise. So you can only hear me. You can't hear the noise. That's the power of artificial intelligence and data science. And I can tell you for free, Pestos has been a friend for more than a year. And I know how, in fact, we live in the UK together. We haven't met. He's a very, very, very easy person. Ken is someone I've been pursuing personally. Ken, I don't know where you have been, but I am coming for you I mean, Ken is just very busy because there's something we're supposed to do. I've been trying to get this man. So you guys are. I mean, how do you get Ken? How do you get Festus? Because
Evangelist on the call too, by the way. Evangelist on the
so
call
what?
too.
Oh God, Evangelist. Oh, hey, Evangelist. Oh, how were you able to get these three guys to join the call at the same time? This is interesting. I mean, I haven't been able, personally, I have not been able to do this because, I mean, we moved from LinkedIn to WhatsApp, yet we've not been able to have a conversation because Ken is a super busy man. You know, Vangelis is a senior data scientist, is one of the fastest rising fintechs, you know, in the world. Ken has been at the back end saving the world with data. Ken, I take my vaccine, the two doses. Thank you for the amazing work that your team is doing. I mean, it's just very interesting, you know, what we can achieve. And I think I jumped in at one point when Ken mentioned that Africans, we need to do a little bit more than what we're doing, right? We need to be more because we're competing against the best in the world. We're competing against Indians, right? But I also feel that we have an advantage. 600 million people, 600 million young people by 2030. That is bigger than China. We can win if we democratize learning. So I have done a lot of extensive research on the major technology skill that you need to get into that space of dominance. And one of it is data science. Another report by Technation that just got out re-emphasized the essence of data science, you know, to accelerate the digital and the technology ecosystem. In fact, data science like cloud computing is growing at 33% every year in terms of the demand from employers. So this is the best time. I mean, this is the best time for you guys to jump in. Thank you again to our guests, you know. Thank you, Ken, for joining. I mean, I am going to have a PhD someday. First off, I'm going to certainly have a PhD someday. I'm working towards it. These two PhD holders are amazing, great guys. Evangelist is one of the busiest humans I've seen. I mean, Evangelist, as a senior data scientist, he's not just a senior data scientist, he's also a coach, a mentor, and a trainer that trains for Utiva and also trains for some of the leading, you know, learning platforms, you know, out there. And having these three guys on the call, I'm super excited that the call, this session is recorded. We'll share the recording with our ecosystem, get more people to learn from these three thought leaders in the space. I do appreciate your time. Looking forward to doing bigger things with you. Have a beautiful evening. It's evening already from where I am. Cheers, guys.
Thank you, Itayo. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Toluani. Thank you so much. Great work. Great work.
Thank you so much. So we're kind of running it off, but I like the word Itayo used, super excited. I mean, I'm really excited that we're able to share all of this, but I really feel that we have a lot more to do, particularly in this side of the world where we have, you know, that what has been termed the imposter syndrome. And I can so well identify, you know, with it. I see it all around me. But the question for us, I suppose, for each of us on this call is, what are we going to do about it going forward? We've heard it. What are we going to do about it for ourselves and for people all around us? Now, the opportunity is there. And I'm going to call Enoch again to speak about the opportunity that Utiva has specially designed for people in diaspora. So, Enoch, over to you. Can you just talk us through that very quickly?
All right. Okay, great. I hope you can all hear me clearly. So we identified. Okay, great. We identified two major programs that are of high value as of right now, and also in high demand across the world, which is the science program and also the cloud computing program. And then what we did was to create versions of the program that have a very okay.
Sorry about this.
I can imagine. I'm trying to pull up my screen.
Okay.
So that I can have better conversation with you. So
Every time I mute. Go ahead, please.
How many persons being treated? Great. So our entire program that we have, like I said, we have the data science program and we also have the cloud computing program. And what we've done is to design versions of this program that prepares African talents or talents wherever they join us from with an environment that prepares abroad. So aside from getting the knowledge that is required, you also have the opportunity to get the opportunity to have coaching sessions. You also have the opportunity to have territory.
Sorry. Maybe you can tell her to turn off audio. Janet,
could you mute? I've been muting you, but it keeps on muting.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please. Thank you for that.
Evangelist, thank you. Okay, so like I was saying, the Data Science Fellowship program is designed to help you move started from as foundational as you could have to the point of having advanced analytics skills, and also giving you the support that you will need to prepare you for the next job that you're trying to get. So as I mentioned earlier, the classes are very hands-on. You have facilitators like Evangelist who will be taking you through the classes. Different classes have different facilitators. In the data science program, we facilitate on 4 major tools: SQL, Advanced Excel, Power BI, and Python. And so for those you have different facilitators taking you through that. And then like I said, the classes are very hands-on and virtual like this. And so it means you can join from anywhere in the world at the comfort of your home or wherever you are. And then also have the classes recorded and also have support from coaches to help to guide you through the entire process, to guide you through the entire learning process. And I think the beautiful part for this is the fact that you also have the opportunity to build a portfolio that you can tender to possible employers and those who are going to engage your services. And like I said, classes are online classes. They happen on weekends. So the time are also quite specific to the diaspora time zone. So we have also factored that in to ensure that you're able to join in with a favorable time. We also have capstone projects, and then you have the entire Utiva community that would support the entire learning journey that you have. And I think that's where really the beauty comes in, where you have access to folks who
lost. You're not there.
Of interest. The reasons why you get professors who call. Oh, I stuttered for a minute. Can you hear me now? Okay, great.
Now. Yeah.
You will joining the Utiva program. One major thing that you would enjoy is the community, right? You are having folks from various walks of life, various points in their careers who are looking to acquire these skills for various reasons, right? Like Dr. Festus had made his own points. Or the reason why he was looking to get the skill set. For some people, it's about getting started on the journey. For some, it's about advancing the career path. And so you would see that you would have such communities to leverage on insights. And then also the ones that we give you eventually one-on-one support job opportunities. And then also we have the cloud computing program. We have all the programs that we have in our portfolio. But for the sake of this call, we're discussing majorly the cloud computing program and the data science program. What we will do going forward is
Enoch, we missed out on the
three.
Sorry, Enoch, we missed out on those three. You got caught off for a bit. Can you highlight those three areas again?
Okay. The 3 areas.
Cloud
what was the last thing you heard? Oh, okay. So I basically said the 2 programs. We have multiple programs for Africans in diaspora, but for the sake of this call, we're just treating data science and cloud computing. And so what we will do is, for everyone who had registered interest for this call, we'll definitely have, say, midweek session, a consultation session where we could just have more personal conversations and see how we can help you position into which skill sets we can best explore. Again, but then we will not have our guests here. We have more of the Utiva team who will be on the call, and maybe also have Eitai on the call to answer a few questions. But like I just want to say, if you're on the call right now, definitely you're on the right track, trying to ensure that you will have good insight on what opportunities that you can explore. The next thing for you to do is find which one best suits you. On this call right now is either data science or cloud computing. The next thing right now is when to get started. So I'm just going to ask you that once the time has been communicated to you on when we should have the midweek session, ensure that you make yourself available. Let's have questions, let's have conversations rather, and see how we can get you started. I know that the team at Rogate will communicate how to get you set up for the next class. Thank you all so much for showing up to this evening conversation, and we look forward to seeing you in the consultation session.
Thank you so much, Enoch. Thank you. I'm just going to stop sharing your screen now. Okay. Thank you so much. Been fantastic. So I wonder if there's anybody among our participants who would like to, have a final question, something that is burning as we round off this masterclass. Anyone in the room that has a burning question or a comment that you'd like to share as we round off this masterclass? The floor is yours. You can unmute yourself if that's what you want to do, and share your thoughts.
I'm happy that I left my questions till the end because the last speaker almost answered all the questions, but I still wanted to understand, like you said, what's the next step? I want to understand that there are some cost implications. Maybe I missed it. I was working back home. So are there some cost implications to these sessions?
Yes. To this masterclass, of course, is the charge is on us. We're picking up the tab on this masterclass, so it's at no charge to you. But going forward, for the value that you get, there would be a charge. Obviously, nothing good comes for free. In fact, if it's good and it comes for free, you should be afraid. So from that point of view, we will get in touch with you. We have your details for everyone that registered for this masterclass. We have your details, so we will communicate with you the next steps. Because the learning advisors from Utiva would do a deep dive into each of the areas that are going to be delivered from December the 4th. And so we're going to communicate all those times to you, the cost of each program and all of that. So it will be a worthy investment indeed to prepare you for an exciting 2022.
Sorry to cut in. I would also like to mention that just to leverage the relationship that we have with Rogate, Utiva is actually extending the scholarship on the programs that have been offered to everyone who comes through Rogate College. So that I believe, just like I mentioned, they will communicate to you on how to get started and what the scholarship offering is. Thank you again. Like I said, I look forward to meeting everyone on the call next time.
Thank you so much. Yes, so we are at the end. I want to say a big thank you to all our guests, our discussants. If I said thank you, it's actually understating it. So I wish you could have a picture of my heart, what's going on in my heart, so you can get a picture of how appreciative I am of the time. In fact, Ita now carried us on a guilt trip, like, these people are very busy. They are very busy. And I say, how can God love me like this? That I now come and bring these big people who are super busy into this call. And so I am deeply indebted to you, Tofumi. Excuse me. There's nobody going to hear me like this. Timothy, can you find this person and mute that person, please? Timothy or Daniel. So thank you so much, Tofumi, that you answered on such short notice. To Ken, to Festus, and to Evangelist, I am highly indebted on behalf of the entire Rogue College team. I'm not going to let you go now, as I don't hold you now. Is go on song for four of us. Thank you so much. And to Enoch, to Omotola, the UTV team, you're just fantastic people. Thank you so much, Umaroga Enoch. You are fantastic. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your direction. It's just been wonderful. And to everyone who's participated in this, please do send us your feedback in relation to this program, what we have done, what you feel about it, how we can do better, and what you hope we can do the next time. And we will try to facilitate that. So it's been fantastic. Thank you so much. And from me, Toluwani Agahome, please, I'll find you on LinkedIn. And definitely when I find you, please be found. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Thank you, Enoch. Thank you, Motola. Thank you to everyone. As the host, I'm not going to leave until everybody's left. Say that again, sorry. I don't know if anybody's still in the room that has questions, and we're going to stop recording now.
Interesting.